As 200,000 veterans transition to civilian life each year, many struggle to translate military skills into civilian jobs. Amy Honeycutt, United States Marine Corps veteran and Senior Learning Associate at Capital One Commercial Bank, joins me now with career tips on how service members can bridge that gap between military experience and corporate careers. This is such an amazing topic. Thank you so much. My husband did 20 years in the Navy, and I know what that's like when you're kind of like, now what? So what do you wish you knew when you were transitioning into a corporate role?
I love that. And I think too, like, you understand what it's like to be a military spouse, right? And what those transitions look like. The transitions for spouses is very similar to what it is for service members. And so, right, like, I didn't just transition once, I transitioned every 2 to 3 years at every new duty station that we went to, in a new state, in a new country, sometimes into a new career licensing requirement entirely. What I wish I would have known earlier was that finding an employer with the right culture, the right support system mattered probably more than the job title. And so finding that culture and support really made me feel safe in the fact that I knew I was probably going to need that flexibility again. And finding a community that was going to walk alongside myself, my family, as we went through all of those different periods of transitions was really probably, what got me through the last 25 years. And Capital One has done an amazing job providing that to myself, to other veterans, and to other military spouses as we face those transitions.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. And again, thank you for your service. Tell us more about Hiring Our Heroes or other resources. So it's called Hiring Our Heroes?
Yes, it's hiringourheroes.org. It's a nonprofit. We've been partnering with them since 2011. They support veterans, they support military spouses, and it's an 11-week fellowship with 4 separate cohorts per year. And they really work to help service members network and learn about the corporate structure before they've even left the uniform behind. And what I really love about it is it takes into account the challenges that you don't even think about, right? The kinds of issues, like my husband before he retired had exactly 2 pairs of slacks. And that's the kind of gap a fellowship like this actually catches, right? The unglamorous logistics of relearning how to dress in the corporate space while your whole entire life is changing all at once.
So how can corporations help and support the hiring of veterans and their families?
Military spouses and their families and veterans, right? We're constantly rebuilding, we're constantly rebranding. And what honestly helps, I mean, it's very simple, right? Flexibility, remote friendly roles, employers who don't treat a resume gap like a red flag. That culture truly matters. Veterans and military spouses should really evaluate companies not only for the job itself, but for that flexibility, that family support, and that strong military affiliated community. Recognizing that life of service for what it is and all of the skills that we bring to the table, and not necessarily as gaps and red flags.
Tell us about Salute, what it is and its purpose and how it's helping.
Salute is one of the most powerful tools that we have here at Capital One for military spouses, for veterans, for the families affected. And it's our business resource group, which has over 6,000 members across our entire Capital One enterprise, with 1,600 members that are actually veterans. And it provides valuable mentorship, peer support. And those things are what makes a huge impact in transition and as your life post-service. It offers just a camaraderie and a place to go for people who get where you're coming from, where you've been, and what that life of service looks like. And honestly, without the support that I've had from the Salute group during my tenure here at Capital One, I don't know what I would have done. Prior to them and the support that they've given me, my support came in the form of an emotional support cheese drawer.
Hey, well, whatever works, right? Thank you so much for joining us. But if we want a little bit more information, though, where can we go?
Yes. So CapitalOne.com careers is going to be a great place for you to go and see what we have to offer. We have some amazing tools such as a job finder quiz, which is going to work to help find roles that match your interests and your experience. We have a military skills translator, which is going to connect your military background and all of those amazing skills and tools that you've honed over your years in service. To open positions that we have here are a fit that might work best for you. And it's also going to provide information on hiring our heroes and the other programs that we have here at Capital One that support military veterans and their families.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you again for being here today, and thank you for your service. And everyone at home, if you would like to see this interview again, just head to First Coast News Plus.